Steve, thank you so much. I don't know what I pictured today as, but I didn't expect to have my name on the marquee of the Pantages Theater. It's kind of surreal. I want to begin by getting back at my two celebrity guests. Arnold is exactly right. When I asked him to do an interview, his producer, Daniel, said, well, that's fine, but the first part of the interview has to be done at Gold's Gym in Venice. Now, to look at me, I'm sure all of you think I spend a great deal of time at Gold's Gym somewhere working out. So I was nervous as a cat when I had to go to the gym and work out with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he certainly made it as pleasant as it could be. He kept telling me, I was lifting 10 pounds. You're using your full form. You're completing the action. And never once did he say, Chris, you are a girly man. So I was very happy about that. As far as Jay is concerned, we asked him for several months to do an interview, and we were about to come out to California to do it, and he set himself on fire. And then we had it rescheduled, and he was riding a motorcycle, and he didn't see a chain across a parking lot, which knocked him off his motorcycle and almost garroted him. So I said to Jay, look, you can just say you don't want to do the interview. Nobody went to so much trouble not to do an interview. It was worth it. But you finally caved and did the interview. I'm so excited to get this award, and particularly to be, you can't really see it, but you see ACE there is Mike Wallace, and the Chamber of Commerce was so nice to accommodate my request that I have my star next to my father. It's an interesting thing, because when, as Jay mentioned, growing up as the son of somebody famous is not an unalloyed blessing. There are some aspects to it that are difficult. You're living in the shadow. Did you get this job on your own? And it was something that I had to deal with. But by the end of his life, we had become best friends. And now I find that whenever his name is mentioned, instead of it having mixed feelings, I actually feel delighted that people still remember my father, which is just an indication that 25 years of intense therapy actually is not a waste of time and money. The star's a big honor, but as Steve mentioned, the real honor and the real joy for me is a half a century as a journalist. I have gone from covering the Boston City Council to 6 years covering Ronald Reagan in the White House. I've interviewed saints. I spent a week in 1979 with Mother Teresa in Calcutta, just after she had won the Nobel Peace Prize. I spent a very long hour with Vladimir Putin in 2018, right after the Trump summit, interviewing him and asking him, why is it that so many of the people that oppose you end up dead? Which was an interesting moment. And then took my wife on a trip to Russia, which probably was foolish, but it worked out okay. I want to, Steve mentioned this is an interesting time for the news business, and I want to just briefly deliver a sermon about this business, because I do get a lot of compliments, even coming out on this trip, that I play it straight, that I'm fair. And while I like compliments as much as the next person, the fact that this is an object of praise is, to me, profoundly depressing. When I started in the news business at the Boston Globe 56 years ago, being honest, playing it straight, having integrity wasn't a subject of praise. It was what kept you from getting fired, like being accurate. And the fact that it is now something that stands out, I think, is a sad commentary about the news business. And I hope that people will remember that our job isn't to take sides, isn't to get down into onto the playing field. It's to call balls and strikes and be as honest and as fair and call strikes on both sides as you can possibly be. I think sometimes in the modern news business, some of my colleagues have forgotten that. Finally, I just want to say I thank you. Thank you to Jay and to Arnold for coming today. I'm sure this was just the most exciting thing in the world for you to come to a Walk of Star presentation. I want to say thank you to my friends, some of whom flew all the way from the East Coast. I want to say thank you to my work family, some of my former colleagues from Fox, some of my former colleagues from CNN, my new family, Redbird, some of them are here, and most of all, I want to say thank you to my real family. 3 of my children are here. My beloved wife, Lorraine, is here. To the Hollywood Walk of Fame, to Jay and Arnold, to my work colleagues, to my friends, to my family, my heart is filled with gratitude today, and I couldn't be more thankful to all of you. Thank you.